All right. All right. All right. So we in the building once again, back at it. Another live market observation. I believe this is volume 17, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is volume 17. For those of you who might be new, make sure that you first of all like the video on whatever platform you're on. Right now, I'm streaming from 3 different platforms, or streaming 2 rather. So we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Wherever you are, like the video and share the video first and foremost, so this can get out to more folks. Also, if you're new, this is the NADEX platform that we're looking at. This is the platform that we trade on. The instruments that we trade are what is called 5-minute binary options. Basically, it's a binary option that recycles every 5 minutes, meaning that it begins at the 5 minute mark and then it ends at the 0 mark. So when the clock goes down to 0, which you see here where it says expires in, when that goes down to 0, whatever the position of the market is relative to the option that you have selected to trade is going to determine if you win or lose that trade. Simple. You don't necessarily have to be correct about what direction the market went in, if it went up or down, if it's trending. You don't have to be concerned about how far it went, how many pips it moved. For those of you familiar with Forex, in Forex, you need the market to move X amount of pips in order for you to capitalize on the trade. Binaries don't require all of that. They are, in my opinion, not only the simplest instrument to trade, but the best one that you can trade, because you don't have to be limited to direction. You don't have to be limited to how many pips the market moved, how far it moved, yada, yada, yada. We're really not concerned about any of that. We literally are only concerned about being correct with regards to where the market ends when the clock runs out. And as long as you're able to do that consistently, you can and consistently will make profits. On this platform, literally, you are 30 trades away from financial freedom, utilizing the skill set that we teach on TeamAlliance, the skill set that you're going to learn if you train with TeamAlliance. It's going to position you to literally within 30 trades to become financially free. Now, with that being said, the key to that is to consistently win all the trades. And I guess that's where the challenge lies, because people ultimately have a hard time consistently winning trades, but it's not for reasons that you think. See, you would think, oh, okay, well, people don't win their trades because it's gambling. Nope. That ain't it at all. People don't win their trades because the market just does crazy stuff. Nope. That ain't it either. The reason that I like these live observations is because that's exactly what it is. It's an observation of the market. The more that you watch the market, the more that you learn about how the market moves. Why is that important? Because the way that the market moves determines whether or not you're going to be correct about where the market is going to end ultimately when the clock runs out. So the more familiar that you become, and y'all give me 1 second, let me see something. I want to take a look at something. 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 3. Okay. The barrier is at 1, 3. Barrier is at 1, 3. And we are observing. Now we got 17 seconds left on the clock here. You see what his price is? 19613. You think that the market is going to stay at that number or go up? Look at what it's doing. Now, did you see that? Did you see how it moved at the end? This is exactly why we're not going to lose, because we watch the market and observe before we trade. Now, if someone could have been watching just now, that was a perfect example. If you were trading and in trade mode, you might have taken that trade. just based off of an assumption that the market would hold that the barrier that it was at. If you actually look at what the market is doing here, several things took place. One, the market just moved up into this position where you see the box. So this is a new position that it's in. So if it's creating a barrier, it has to respect the barrier first. And just now in that example, you can see that it did not respect the barrier that it created. So what it did was it repositioned itself and it moved somewhere else. See? So now we're down here underneath that same line. So just little things like what I just did. This is why observation is so important, because it allows you to see what the market is actually doing, not what you assume the market's going to do. Just like I said, if you would have taken that trade just based off of the fact that there was a trade setting up there, but not fully aware of what the behavior in the market currently is, then you could have easily taken that trade and you would have lost. And this is where people find themselves so often, too often. They find themselves losing because of not what the market did to them, but because of the lack of patience to wait for the market to reveal enough information to you about what it is doing as far as its behavior. That's it. That's the simple reason why people will lose trades. So just what I just did, you see how, I even went as far as pulling up the ticket. I pulled up the ticket to look closer at the market and just to observe. I didn't pull up the ticket because, oh, there's a trade setting up. Look at this. Whereas that's how most people think when it comes to trading. They're thinking about trades. But in reality, in order for you to be consistently profitable, you have to not think about trades. You have to focus on understanding the market and the way that the market moves. The way it moves, not where it moves, how far it moves, how it moves, the way that it moves, the behavior. So behavior plays an important role. And it's very interesting that the majority of people, when they come on a platform like this, never understand what behavior even is. They don't even know that there is a thing called behavior, let alone what it is. They don't understand or hear about it until they run into the content here on TeamAlliance, because that's all we talk about. And again, this is information that the market is giving to you. So as the market gives you more and more information through its behavior, what you're doing is you're aligning yourself with the behavior of the market instead of subjecting yourself to the behavior of the market. You see the difference? See, when you trade and you're in trade mode, you're subjecting yourself to market behavior. When you observe, you're learning market behavior. You're seeing what the market does. You're seeing how long it does it for. You see and begin to become accustomed to seeing and recognizing what dominates in the market at the time, how the market shifts. Sometimes the market will be slow and then it'll be kind of faster. Sometimes it'll be fast, then it starts slowing down. You learn how to see it. You learn how to understand it, but you can't do that if you're trading. You can only do that if you're observing. That's why this is so powerful, because that's exactly what we do. We do live observation. But when do you take a trade? Well, for one, we don't take trades. Take would insinuate that we're trying to extract. We're not trying to extract from the market. We're simply observing the market, learning how to understand it so that we can position ourselves to receive what the market is going to give us. You see the difference? And for those of you that, might be new to this content, a lot of terminology and things that you hear me say you may not be familiar with, and it's cool. Don't worry about it. Just keep watching stuff. until you begin to get an understanding of what's going on. I want to share something with y'all that someone sent me. Well, actually, they didn't even send it to me. It was a comment on YouTube, but I'm gonna read what the young lady actually said because I think that is very powerful. I'm just gonna read something real quick. If I can find it, where is it? Here it is. So this is the comment. This is what she said, right? She said, ever since I've been watching your live observations and listening to everything you've said, I've been in nothing but profit. It's so unreal. I thank you so much. You've changed my life with this. So, mind you, she's not even training with me. She's not even in the group with us. This is a regular person that trades. Regular person. She said, ever since I've been watching the observations and listening, I've been in nothing but profit. That's what I'm doing this for. You see? That's what I'm doing this for, because people don't understand, and that's the reason that they'll be losing. If you take the time to understand, you'll stop losing. But in order to do that, you got to stop trading. It's hard for people to stop trading because they think that trading means money, right? Oh, well, the money's in the trades. I got to find some good trades. No, you don't. You need to learn how to understand the market before you even think about a trade. Because if you don't, the market's going to punish you for that. You see? Mind you, it's not that it's taking it out on you. The market is just doing what it's doing. But because you're not in alignment with it, you get punished. That's what happens. It's not that it's not personal. Market ain't picking on you. Hey, hey, Larry, I'm going to just beat your ass all day. Larry's problem is he won't stop trading. So he gets his ass beat all day. It ain't that the market is picking on Larry. And hopefully nobody's name is Larry who's on here. If there's any Larrys here, I'm not picking on you, and it ain't got nothing to do with you. It's the other Larry. All right. But yeah, this stuff is, this is very important, and it's imperative that you understand what's happening before you start putting money in your account and trading. People want to trade all day. Listen, you are literally only 30 trades away from financial freedom on this platform. 30 trades away. 30 trades away, man. 30. But you got to make them trades count. You got to make them count. All right, let me come back into the comments real quick before I go any further. Nanu. That's funny. Good old Mork and Mindy, huh? All right, so who we have in the building? We got Maui Jeff, Jermaine, BCJ, Charles. I see Sadiq, Forrest, Stacy's here, Chris is here, Vision is here, Carrie is here, Bailey is here, Jamal is here. Minhaz is in the building. All right, cool. Carrie says TA will free those who master yourself before you master the market. 100%. I done already said it. You're 30 trades away from freedom. But you got to make them trades count. How do you do that? Skill. And hold up, matter of fact, skill first. Don't trade first. Develop the skill first. Patience. Patience. Vision, agree, carry, master, read. Oh, carry, read, master ourselves through observation of the market. Yes, sir. Need to put that up too, so y'all can see. Yep. Observation of the market. Yeah. She was just someone watching the live observations. Regular person. Yep. But a regular person that listened. That's what I'm saying. Like, because I always talk and address, the folks that are not necessarily into training. It's not that I'm trying to convince you to train with me. It would be wise. But even if you don't, there's still certain things you have to do in order to succeed. So do you want the success blueprint, or do you want me to lie and tell you, well, all you need is just good strategy. That's all you need. Get yourself a good strategy, man. Get some good signals. That's not true. So I can't tell you that. Anytime that you try to use a strategy in the market, you get smashed eventually. Even if your strategy leads to some type of a winning streak. All that is a coin flip that you ain't flipped tails on yet. You flipping heads until you flip tails, and then when you flip tails, it's over. The streak is over. The thrill is gone. So do you want that is the question. Do you want to just be on a win streak until you lose? Or do you want to be on a never-ending 1-0 situation? Meaning that before you even take the trade, you know the outcome of the trade. Whoa. Just think about that for a moment. Think about that. How can you know the outcome before you take the trade? It can't be the trade. It's impossible for it to be the trade. It would have to be something else. Well, what else is it? It would have to be you actually understanding the market itself. See, if you understand the market, you already know the outcome because you understand what the market is doing, not what the market's going to do. You don't have to be in prediction mode. You don't have to make a prediction. Oh, I think the market's going to go and down and it's going to support. It's going to test the support down here. It doesn't matter. You could be right, but be wrong. Market probably is going to test that support, but it ain't going to do it now. As a matter of fact, you don't know when it's going to do that. So why would you try to base a decision as far as trading off of that information? You see, that's where people go wrong. That's where they go wrong. And when they follow anybody that trades that way and looks at the market that way, they're following that person into losses at some point. Even if that person happens to be on a winning streak, like I said. The funny thing is when it comes to the binaries, people look at binaries like as if it's gambling. And it's very interesting to me because I understand why they look at it that way. It's like, well, just, it's either up or down. You're either right or you're wrong. Yeah, exactly. But do you realize what is the determining factor as to whether or not you'll be right or wrong? That's the question. What determines if you're right or wrong? See, until you are able to understand that, It is gambling for you. It is a gamble. You might as well go to Atlantic City and just sit on the slot machine and go ahead. Or get on the blackjack table. You might as well do that. Because it is gambling for you until you understand that it's not even about the trade. It's about understanding the market. Not understanding the market is why you'll lose trades. Not taking time to observe the market is why you'll lose trades. Not taking time. When you start taking time and you start waiting and watching and observing, the market starts to reveal itself to you. Because you're actually sitting there watching and waiting. You're learning to see. You're learning what to recognize. What if I told you the majority of the time the market is telling you reasons not to trade? Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, Mark, my trade setup, my setup is pretty good, I believe. I went about 8 or 9 out of 10. Well, the 2 that you lose, why do you be losing them? Well, I've noticed there are different times. Oh, times. That's a key word. Let's remember that word. This is Mortimer, by the way. There are different times when I've noticed that the market tends to just do something sporadic. Yeah, well, if you know that the market is doing something sporadic at that time, why would you trade? Well, because my setup's there. Yeah, but you just said that the market is moving sporadically. So why would you trade your setup at that time? Well, because you have to do the entire, you got to trade. No, I don't know. Why do you have to trade? Why? Well, but that's how you determine your win rate. Mortimer's a character that I created out of actual conversations I've had with people. Like, it sounds funny, but I've had conversations with people that talk like that. You got to trade your setup because that's how you'll know how often it wins. Literally, people have told me that. Literally. I'm like, are you serious? So you just trading all day, huh? Yeah, every time the setup comes, you got to take it. Well, doesn't make sense to me. What good is the setup if you lose? Hold on. What good is the setup if you lose? And what good is what you're doing if you don't understand why you lost? Can't tell me that, huh? So literally, the guy Mortimer, he's the culmination of people that I've had conversations with that talk like that. They just don't get it. They don't understand at all. And the funny thing is that they think that they understand. So they've had debates with me. Well, no one wins every trade. No, let's rephrase that. No one who trades like you wins every trade. Let's clear that up. First of all, you speak for yourself. You can't speak for me. No one who trades how you trade wins every trade. I agree. You are 100% correct. That's why I don't trade how you trade. Urkel's twin. That is funny. Minhas says the market is heartless. It is. It is. The market is totally emotionless. But understand that the market is not intentionally picking on you. You're just a victim of ignorance. You're the victim of not knowing. So you can't continue to be a victim. You see, that's what's going on here. It's not that the market picked you out. Yeah, I'm going to tear him up today. I'm going to tear her up today. No, it's not doing that. Your lack of knowledge and understanding is the reason that you'll continue to do stupid things that lead to you losing in the market. And that's it. That's what's happening. You have to stop that, though. You. Well, Mark, how do I start? You got to stop trading. Well, what do you mean? I mean, I have to trade. No, you don't. You need to stop trading. You don't even know why you're losing. If you don't know why you're losing, you need to stop. Stop. Bailey says the skill is the profit. Ooh, that's hard. We got to put that up. The skill is the profit. He says, the more I observe, the more I realize I know. Come on now. Borrow Kuda. So the market is like the weather. Don't bet on what the weather will do. Observe the climate. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. We need a Don DeMarco for that. Don DeMarco. Very good. Very good. He said, observe the climate. Whoa. Come on now. Vision, do we stay at the same size after 30 trades or do we continue to size up? You can, if you want to continue to size up, but at the end of 30 trades following the spreadsheet, you're going to be at a very nice size. You're going to be at the size where one trade is 5K. That's a nice size. But again, who am I to stop you from continuing to go if you want to? Sadiq, receive, withdraw, 301 mindset. Bam. Bam. Bailey, this is my favorite, the gamble trading persona. Yep. Yeah, gotta trade the setup. That's how they think. It's crazy. It really is insane when you think about that. It's like you're telling me you gotta take every trade when you don't even understand what the market is doing. You're just taking the trades. That's crazy to me. That is crazy. You're telling me you got to take the trade because you don't understand what the market is doing. Market might do this, market might do that. So because you don't know what it's going to do, you got to take the trade anyway. You sound like a retard. That really sounds retarded. Look at this time and the behavior still off. Last 8 seconds. What's funny is that this is almost identical to the last one that we saw with the same quote unquote setup. See, if somebody was looking at this as a setup, they would have got set up just now. They got set up. They'd have thought they was winning, right? Them last 8 seconds, that market dipped right back below the bottom of that box, right down below that strike. Turned your win into a loss in 8 seconds. This is what I mean about observation and why it's so important. The market is telling you what it's doing. That's the second time it did the exact same thing. Second time. See? So there go your 2 losses out of 10. The other 8 times it'll win. Them 2 times it lost. And you don't know why it lost. Oh, I'm not sure what happened. There was 8 seconds left. You saw what happened. That behavior's off at the end. Period. But because you put emphasis on the trade setup, you won't take heed to the behavior. You keep focusing on the setup. Oh, man. But, this is supposed to win 8 out of 10. Okay. You keep thinking like that. There it is. Reginald said the setup turns into you getting set up. Exactly right. Exactly. Yep. Jamal said we trade 1-minute binaries. He's not lying. He's not lying. When you start to realize that when you understand the market, you'll realize that the market's behavior transcends time. Time becomes subject to what the market is doing instead of the other way around. People think time frames determine what the market does. No. The market transcends time. See, this is another principle of market behavior. It transcends time. We're trading within time, but our understanding is not within time. See, the trade is within time, 5 minutes. The clock ticking down, that's time. Behavior will transcend that. When the market is stable, it transcends the time, the clock. The reason that the market even creates a barrier to begin with, the reason that the market creates a range, the reason that the market creates clusters in the candles is because it's going through the process of transcending time over time. It just keeps doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it tighter. And as it tightens up, it continues to transcend time more. And that's why when you look, you're like, man, how these candles look like that? Sometimes you'll see candles, they'll be just like that. Just be a line. Market didn't move for a whole 60 seconds. Just sat there. The market also ebbs and flows. As it tightens up, it manifests through range. You know what range looks like. Let's draw a range. Let's zoom in. Let's draw the range out. We take that candle right there. Is the market ranging now? Well, let's look. That's in the box. That's in the box. That's in the box. That's in the box. Market tightens up, starts ranging. When you start seeing the barrier is a macro of what the market is doing in the micro. So now when you see this, for example, like I'll take, what's this? 7.5. So 7.5 is the lowest that I'm seeing so far. 7.5, and then the strike price is 6.7. Excuse me, 5.7. So the barrier is 5 micro pips above this line right here. This the bottom of this box. That's where the barrier is for where the market is right now. The lower barrier. When you see that the market is creating a barrier, you'll know that the barrier is being respected, because every time that the market comes back there, it respects the barrier. As the market continues to tighten up, stabilize, you'll see the market respecting the barrier for longer periods of time. It does it for longer. Now that behavior is dominating. As you start to see the market dominate with that type of behavior, your confidence elevates, because you know what to expect. You already know what the outcome is going to be when the market moves. You know what the outcome is going to be if the market don't move. You know if a position will be stable and remain intact. You'll know if the movement is stable. So if it does move, you'll know that it holds. All of this through observation. Everything I'm saying, I've learned through observing the market and studying what it does. You can't make it up. This is what the market does. Candles start clustering together. Another indication. Letting you know the market is transcending time. It's moving to the side. So not only is it moving top to bottom in a range, it's also clustering together minute after minute. When the market moves into another position, and then that position is relative to a strike price, that means now it's within range of the strike. And this is what I said yesterday about what happens when the barrier and the strike are the same thing. In other words, what happens when the barrier is in the vicinity of the strike price? It basically means now the barrier is protecting the strike price, because the market is respecting the barrier. So even when the market moves in that vicinity, it respects it and it holds that position relative to that strike price. That's how you know the outcome if that trade sets up. It sounds more scientific than anything, doesn't it? It's science. And even though it's simple, it's very high level science, because this is what the market does. We don't have any indicators on the chart. There's no indicators on here at all. All we're doing is we literally got a big ass green box, and we just following the market as it moves, knowing exactly what the market is doing at the time. Oh, it's ranging. Oh, it's starting to cluster. Oh, it moved into a new position. Oh, the movement is stabilizing. We also know when the market is doing too much. We'll say, no, doing too much. It's not stable. Wicks, not stable. So knowing what the market is doing, this is how you remain consistent. See, consistent profitability also means not trading. Unlike Mortimer takes all the trades. He take all of them. Well, you got to trade them all to know. Let me come back. Philip, better to observe and learn instead of pulling the trigger and losing. Come on, Philip. Get him. Fonz, what's happening? Barrel says, thanks. I like that trade setup. Wait, I like that trade. The setup bar too. That's hard. I'm trying to get set up right the first time. What you talking about, Barrel? You said the setup bar. What's that? Miranda, what's up? Vision says, Mark, not that it matters for TA protocol, but does NADEX truly follow the market, or is there platform bias and manipulation? They follow the market. They follow the market. Now that you brought that up, I'm gonna show you something. Let me actually show y'all something briefly. This will actually be some insight and education with regards to the actual market, the underlying market. So the underlying market that I watch is the euro dollar. That's the market that I trade binaries on in the Forex market. So basically with binaries, the binary is the instrument that we trade. That's what is expiring every 5 minutes, right? The market that you're observing is the one that is the underlying market that the binaries are based on. It's the reason that the strike prices are where they are, etc. So my market is the euro dollar, right? I'm gonna pull up Trading View because I want you to see the pricing on Trading View and compare the pricing on Trading View to the indicative pricing on NADEX. Now, NADEX uses what's called the indicative price, and the indicative is an average. Is an average of the buy and the sell prices in the open Forex market. So I'm just gonna show briefly the Trading View platform so that you can see the price on the Trading View platform and see how that compares to the indicative price on NADEX. So let me see if I can share this screen actually. How I do this? How do I do it? Can I share two screens? Let me see if I can share two. No, it doesn't let me share two. All right, maybe I can. So it makes me stop the screen. Okay, then I guess I can share the Trading View. Is this it? I think this is it. Okay, so y'all see this? So this is Trading View. This is the Trading View platform. This is not NADEX. This is just Trading View. If you look at the price here, 1.19605. Look at your NADEX platform. Tell me what the indicative price is now. On Trading View is 19605. Now it's at 4. If you look at the indicative on NADEX, it's probably going to be within 1 or 2 micro pips of the number that you see here. That's the only disparity that I've ever noticed. But the majority of the time, it's the same number. So the difference might be 1 or 2 micro pips off, but the majority of the time, it's the same. Like right now, it's 604. And look at NADEX. NADEX is 604. You see that? Now you see the market moving down here is at 601, 604. You can see that the movement also was a lot sharper on Trading View. Like there's a lot more fluctuation in the price movement here. Now remember that I said that on NADEX, The indicative is an average price. So it's taking the averages of the buy side and the sell side on the euro dollar in the open market to determine the one number that we look at, that we see as the indicative price. Okay. So that's why you'll always see that at times it may be different by maybe 1 or 2 micro pips. But as far as it being manipulated, no, because you can't manipulate the euro. So if it's feeding off of the euro dollar information, which the indicative price is, then you, by looking at the indicative price and studying the euro dollar pricing on NADEX, that's why I don't look at nothing else. I'm just pulling this up so that y'all can see what the pricing looks like on a separate feed altogether. That's not NADEX. I want you to see what it is, so that when you look back at NADEX, you look and see, oh, it's not even that much of a difference at all, if there's a difference. Majority of the time, it's the same. So there's no manipulation in the price. The market price, meaning that the euro dollar itself, whatever price that you see in the open market, remember that it's going to reflect 2 prices. It's going to reflect the bid and the ask. So you see how these are 2 numbers? You got a red one here and a blue one there. It's showing you the buy and the sell in the open market. And then on the Trading View platform, it averages it out here too. So you're seeing the same number. You see? So there's definitely no manipulation in the market price. And that was a good question. That was a good question, because I've heard people say that many times. Oh, NADEX be manipulating the price. No, what it is that you just don't understand the market price. If you still think that NADEX is manipulating pricing, it's really more so you don't understand the underlying market that you're looking at and how to interpret that movement and that pricing. Because that movement and pricing will always be reflected in the indicative, no matter what. Regardless. Does that make sense? Let me go back to NADEX. So the indicative price always reflects the market. And that's why when you look at NADEX and only the indicative on NADEX, instead of looking at outside pricing, like what people will do, they'll look at outside pricing and try to trade off of outside pricing on NADEX. NADEX is using an average to create the indicative. Remember, it's only one number that you see, and it's only one number that determines if you win or lose. So you really need to focus and study on that one number and how that is behaving relative to everything that we learn. How is it moving? How, excuse me, is the behavior? You see what I'm saying? Because it's definitely like whatever you see this indicative do, that's what the market is doing. That's what the market is doing. That's how the market moved. That's how it moved. And then you see it reflected in the indicative pricing. So even during times where the market is volatile, it'll be the same thing. Same thing. You need to become more familiar with the market. You need to observe the market more, instead of thinking that on NADEX, NADEX is doing some extra. Nah, that's not it. That is not it at all. You just have not studied and observed the market long enough to know what the market is actually doing at the time. And then it catches you off guard when it does something that you didn't expect it to. But all that means is that you didn't give it enough time. You didn't give it enough observation time. That's all. You got to give it more observation time. Trade less. Yep, trade less. But that's a good question, Vision. Chris says you can't take from the market, but by golly, the market will take from you. Yeah, by nature. By nature, because the market does what it does. And until you understand what it does, it's gonna take. But mind you, it's not even really taking. You really giving it. You know what? Hold on. We're gonna elevate that. The market ain't even taken from you. You giving it to the market. And in actuality, you giving it to whoever's on the other side of the trade. Because this is an exchange. So all you doing is giving your money to somebody else on the other side of the trade because of your lack of patience to deal with the market. Jamal said you can't transcend time if you are bound by time. Yep. Yep. Transformation takes place. Yep. Bailey, hope everybody brought their noodles because Mark's handing out some sauce. I got that soy sauce. Let's go. Barrel, when the market is toxic, log out the relationship. I like that. Let's put that up. Pay attention. When it's toxic, log out the relationship. I like that. Mortimer will stay just a mere mortal. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Carrie, this the StreamYard doesn't let you do that. Yeah, it only shares one tab at a time. Yep. Thanks for sharing that, Mark. My cousin and his mentor, who do not know or trade with us, have, I guess, been spanked. So now their excuse is the platform is out to get them. Man, listen, that's good. That is the most popular excuse ever. No, NADEX, they cheat. NADEX is a cheat. No. NADEX ain't a cheat at all. They're providing us with an opportunity to capitalize off of our knowledge. If you losing, it's because you ain't got enough knowledge. You keep losing, it's because you ain't got enough knowledge, brother. That's all it is. See, and I ain't talking about trade knowledge. What I'm talking about? I'm talking about market knowledge. Come on now. Market knowledge. You so busy trading, you are bypassing the market. You focusing on the trade. Taking trades all at the wrong time, all crazy. Timing is all off. Market behavior is erratic. It is unstable. You taking a trade, wondering why you lost the trade. The funny thing is, you don't call anything manipulation when you win a trade that you didn't think you was. You ever notice that? You ever see somebody win a trade that they thought lost? I don't hear you talking about NADEX was cheating in. You ain't got nothing to say then, huh? So NADEX is only cheating when you lose. If you win, they ain't cheating. Right? Come on now. You can't have it both ways. Pay attention to the reasons that I'm telling you that you're losing for. You're losing because you don't know. You don't know what? You don't know what the market's doing at the time. You never heard of behavior. You still trying to, apply trends, support and resistance. You got fib levels and all type of stuff drawn out, trying to trade off of that. Don't you know behavior transcends that? Don't you know unstable behavior will move through a trend line and move back? And it can do that with seconds left on the clock while you in the trade. So you was right, but you was wrong. Right about what the market was going to do, wrong about the time. Get more knowledge, man. More knowledge, less trades. You're only 30 trades away. Listen, I cannot reiterate this enough. You're literally 30 trades away from freedom. Take your time and make them trades count. The best way to make all of the trades count is acquire the skill of understanding the market first before you take the first trade. Don't even take the first trade until you have the knowledge. That way, by the time you start taking your trades, or better yet, receiving your trades, it'll be nonstop receiving trades because you'll be 1-0 every time that you are in the market, period. 1-0. You ain't going to do that if you busy trading. I like this. Look what Bilal said. He said a bad worker always blames his tools. Vision said, get the knowledge up. That's it. That's it. And this is so true right here. Look at this. Sadiq said the market don't even know that you there. Come on now. Literally, the market don't know who you are. Jamal said we don't do slap ship. Facts. SG, NADEX doesn't play favorites. It just charges a small fee for the battle between buy and sell. You don't like it? Too bad. Listen, if you don't like that right there, look. That's fair. That's fair. NADEX is Don King. You mad at Don King for promoting the fight? All he doing is promoting the fight. You want to win the fight, you got to train. That's your problem. You're not training to win. You ain't training to win this fight. Whoever you taking a trade against might know the market better than you. You already know if you take a trade against us, we know the market better than you. You're going to lose that trade. I dare you to take a trade against me. Dare you. Go ahead and try to get that 80-20. See what happens. I'm only risking 20 to make 80. No, what you're doing is giving me 20 if you take that trade against me. I'll take it. I'll take it. And that's where people go wrong. Time and time again. They just don't understand. But it's all right. You know, you're going to see, that's another thing too. You'll get tired of losing eventually. The main reason that we're going to be consistent when we trade is because we submit to the market. See, y'all don't know nothing about that. You're submitting to your strategies and signals and all that. We're submitting to the market itself. We don't need nothing else. Look, Look at my chart. What's on here? Only thing on here is a box. No Fibonacci, no moving averages, no Ichimoku cloud, no MACD, no stochastic RSI, none of that. Just the market and me. That's it. Market and me. Um, another reason that I love the box is because when you use the box, look at what the box be telling you. Just look. If you know that the box represents the strike prices, which it does, because if you see everywhere I move it to, all I'm doing is moving it to where the top of the box is one strike and the bottom is another. And then the candles are going to be in the box. But in this case, you see how they're in the box and outside the box. So what is that telling you right away? You got these candles in and out the box at the same time. Literally positioned across the top strike. What is that telling you about the market right now? That's what I'm talking about. See, if you don't know that that's too much going on, you have a lot of work to do. If you're trying to find a trade with the market looking like this, you got a lot of work to do. See, if you don't understand why the market even looks like this, you got a lot of work to do. Because if you are in trade mode, you'll apply your trade setup here and then wonder why you get slapped around. And the worst part is that you'll apply it and then you'll win a trade. That's the worst thing that you could do. Worse. Because as soon as you win that trade, what you going to do? You're going to do it again. You are going to do it again. Yeah, right. Don't be mad at Don King for promoting the fight. That's a fact. Fibonacci sound like a bag of chips. And yes, too much movement. Correct. Correct. So like when I take the box and just move it, like you see how now this candle is coming up now over this strike. So now when I position the box here, if you just observe, the market gonna tell you everything about what it's doing. Remember that there is certain behavior that the market does that represents stability. And there's behavior that the market does that represents instability. If you don't know the difference between those two, you already messed up. You don't know the difference between instability and stability? You can win trades in instability. Yes, you can. But you're not going to win all your trades in instability. Because the market is not stable, you don't know what it's going to do. It's a coin flip. So it's only a matter of time before you guess wrong. Now let's flip that around. What happens when the market is stable? When the market is stable and it positions itself relative to a strike, you already know the outcome of that. Because it's stable. You know behavior that reflects stability, holding, staying power, commitment. That's what represents stability. So when it moves somewhere, it stays there. When it positions itself somewhere, it remains there. When it starts ranging, that range holds more. When the candles start clustering, that cluster turns into the position right where the barrier is at. All of that is behavior that leads to what? A winning trade. Because the market's stable. So the market is showing you through all of these different tools that we use how it is stabilizing. And when we use the tools, the market ultimately will at some point position itself and give us money, because when that market sets up at the right time, that's money in the bank. You're learning how to just navigate to never, ever, ever think about taking a trade at the wrong time. The wrong time meaning when the market's not stable. If there's anything about the market that ain't stable, we're going to see what it is and we'll know not to do anything. That only comes through observation and study. Not taking all your setup trades. And that's the difference. Because people swear that, oh no, well, you can't win all your trades. I'm like, y'all keep saying that because of how you trade. And you're right, you can't win all your trades the way that you trade, but we don't trade how you trade. But like winning a trade during an unstable environment is worse than losing. Facts. Facts. Because you know why that's so bad? It's directly tied into your greed. Anytime that you win, it's adrenaline. You get that rush. Like, ooh, that felt good. I need another one of those real quick. You even start talking. You start talking shit. Yeah, I'm gonna give me another one. You're gonna get you another one. You barely got that one. But in your mind, you got that one. Like, nah, I got that, man. I got this. I'm gonna give me another one real quick. And that's total disrespect for the market because you don't even understand why you won the trade. All you know is that you won the trade. Yeah, but I won though. I know that you won though. But your problem is you don't know how to cut off. And that disrespect leads to the market being disrespectful to you because the market is not stable. If you won that trade when the market wasn't stable, it was a coin flip. Your greed and your emotion gonna lead you to do it again. And you're gonna keep doing it again until you choose wrong. You're gonna pick the wrong one. And you're gonna lose. Then you're gonna be mad at NADEX again. NADEX be cheating. It's terrible, man. It's like a terrible cycle that people will put themselves through. And it's like, just don't do that. Don't do that. And just the fact that you even have TA, you got to realize some people are never going to run into TA. It's kind of hopeless for them. They don't have no hope. They're going to come into trading, they're going to win a little and they're going to lose the rest. And then they're going to give up. Hopeless. But you run into TA, man, freedom's coming. Freedom. Literally, you 30 trades away from financial freedom on this platform. 30 trades. There's people on this platform that took 30 trades today. So I bring that up because I'm trying to help to put it in perspective for you. Just like yesterday, we were talking about certain behaviors that you should be creating. Of course, the first one being following instructions, right? So there's the 301 playlist on repeat. Every day you need to watch those videos. Whatever the recommended live training, watch that. If I come on and do a live observation, show up. What else should you be doing? When you start observing, you need to start recording. When you get into this behavior, you now are prepared because you're going to be held accountable through your documentation. Because you record, you're held accountable. You can't say, oh, the market did this and did that. The recording shows what it did. You don't got to explain anything. Just share it in the group so we can press play. We're going to see what you did. We're going to see what the market. Accountability. And even if you're not engaging and participating in trades yet, you should still be recording. Record your observation of what you think the market is doing. Record what you think that you're seeing. Is this stability? Is this phase 3? I'm not sure what phase 3 is. When should I be looking at this? When should I be doing that? When you record and you observe and you ask questions, this is how you gain more understanding about the process. And you should be doing more and more of that because it's going to elevate you. It's okay to ask questions if you don't know. That's what we're here for. You don't know, so I'm ask. Mark, I'm not sure how to enter a limit GTC order. If you don't know how to do that, you should ask, how do I enter a limit GTC? I've seen people pull up a ticket in recordings, and you see here where it says order type, limit GTC. You see how mine is automatically set to this? Theirs will be on this. It'll be on market. It shouldn't be on market. It should be on limit GTC. See, you can go into your settings and actually set that as a default so that every time that you open up a ticket, it's already there. And then in the price box, you can change the price to the numbers that we use. See? Little stuff. I don't care if it's as small as that. If it's something that you don't know or don't understand, ask. This is what TA is for. Again, recording. That's how we'll know. That's how I found out that somebody was using market. I'm like, all right, you need to go into your settings and change that to limit GTC. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, let me do that. I wouldn't have known that had he not been recording. But because he was recording, I knew because I saw it. And other people in the group picked up on it too. See? Nigo, what's good? Barrel, when looking for the speed, the market environment, are we looking at the indicative price or the price on the chart? The indicative price is always what we're going to look at over everything. But I do look at the chart until I go either to the ladder to look or to the ticket. But usually I look at the ticket. So for example, let's say that I'm looking and I want to see where the market is. I know that the price here on the chart can be, slightly different than the actual indicative. Actual indicative is on the price, on the chart. Not the chart, I'm sorry, the ticket. So when you open up a ticket and you see where it says indicative price, that's the indicative price. This is not always identical to the chart price. So if you have to pick which one to look at over the other, it's always going to be the price either from the ticket or from the binary ladder, which is over here under the markets tab. So like when you're looking at your market, you see this number here, that's the indicative. So the indicative here and the indicative on the ticket are exactly the same. But the price on the chart could be slightly different. Like right now, you see just now was at 30 and the indicative was at 31. So the price on the chart can at times be slightly different. Doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. So yes, we go by the price on the ticket or the price in the binary ladder, which can be found when you open up the markets tab and you have your market here. This is called the binary ladder, this whole thing here, because it looks like a ladder. But that's a good question. Reginald said, losses build character, but TA want to know is my type of hype. And I don't think losses build character. I think losses just make you keep losing because you're going to keep doing dumb shit until you stop. Shit. That's just how I feel about it, though. Like, I understand what you're saying about a building character, but I'm like, you need to build character to stop losing. Shit. Um. Oh, what I missed right there. Oh, Ab is here. Ab, what's up, man? Well, man, Ab. Chris said he had a dream about him. Oh, snap. He said he was trying to tell me what to do, like a devil on my shoulder. Weird dream. When you study and know the movement of the market, you can kill it constantly. I don't like to use certain words. Like I never say kill the market because I just mentally for me, I never try to talk disrespectful to the market. But yes, you can be successful. Absolutely. I like words like cooperation and alignment. Just little stuff. I'm just very careful how I talk about the market. Chris says TA keep me going on bad days. I can see the light. Yes. Yes. You're seeing the fire in the distance. When you stray too far, you get cold and it'll always bring you back. Yep. Okay, so barrel, that was clear, right? With the binary ladder and stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, that's an old thing too that we used to always talk about. I used to always have to explain that, but I haven't had anyone really ask that as of late. But yeah, I'm glad that you brought it up. It's little stuff like that, just little bits and pieces of clarity, without a doubt. Yeah, that's about right. Paley said losses build stress. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yep, accountability. Yeah, I know. I know it's a figure of speech. And that's why I watch my speech. Yes, energy is everything. Exactly. Exactly. Yep, I'm not gonna blaspheme the market. Blasphemy. Like, yep. I'll be talking to the market every day. I'll be like, good morning, market. Good morning, sir. Today is gonna be an awesome day. Yes, sir. Market be like, yeah, I might have a little something for you if you wait for it. I'm gonna wait for it. Waiting patiently, sir. Oh, snap. Here go Ab. Ab, you got the signals? He said buy the Euro 1963 strike. He said, did you catch it? Nah, I didn't catch it. I wasn't looking, Ab. You bought this, Ab? You bought this? Ab, call out another one, man. Come on, let's get some signals going. Let's get some signals. Oh man. I miss Ab. Ab ain't been around in a minute. He is a trip. What you got, Ab? What's next? Oh, you gotta go? Come on, man. Don't leave yet. Come on, Ab. You just got here, man. Don't leave. Oh, these days you take your time? Okay. Ab is gonna make us rich. Oh, snap. Oh, you have a presentation to do? Okay, cool. All right, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking in. You know what it is. Yeah, Ab is cool, man. That's my dude right there. Ab be on it. He be giving it up. He'd be like, yeah, we're gonna get that 1963. We're gonna sell. Here you go, right here, Ab. So what you doing right here, Ab, before you leave? You gonna sell, you selling this? This strike right here. Or you buying it now? Oh, now you definitely buying it now. You be like, yeah, you're gonna buy that. It's a no-go. Go ahead, Ab. Oh, you didn't start observing until the 2 minute mark? Okay. Sadiq said he said Ab deposited his stimulus. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. You know you're always welcome to check in. Always. Ooh. So right now, overall in the market, there is just more activity at the moment. Um, I know that London opens up, I think at 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and now it's like 1:20. And typically, when London opens up, there's more volume in the market overall. So you'll see kind of just more activity going on in general. But we're not even, excuse me, we're not even there yet. That's like another almost a half hour from now. So the market is kind of just, oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Market right now is just moving more, just in general. Paley, it's just like the one of the days, Mark, that was stress watching. I'd rather get one on this platform and put value on it. That's what you learn from this training, not quantity, but quality. Yes. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I still like that's one thing I still be wondering about with people that are on NADEX in general. I'm like, you realize that you can do a lot with 30 trades? Like maybe everybody don't realize that. But I kind of know partially what it is too. I think that people get caught up in the contract sizes and they think that things change and it's different just because you trading with more contracts. Like I really believe that people feel like that's the case. Like, oh, when you go up into larger contracts, it's different. No, it's not. It's literally not different at all. It's the same thing that you was doing with one contract. Same thing. Same thing. And again, that's why I reiterate focusing on developing your skill even before you take the first trade. Because you only 30 trades away from financial freedom on this platform. Literally. So just imagine if you just position yourself to make all of those trades count for real. That's a lot. That's a lot. Position yourself so that all of the trades count. And all it is one trade after the next is 1-0 each time. So if you start out with that mind frame, it makes it easier for you to not become emotional as the time goes. Because it's very easy, to be emotional when you see money. You start looking in your account, you're like, oh, I'm over 1,000. I'm at 1,500. I'm at 2,000. And it's like that money in the account that's not even what you're focusing on. Your only focus is the skill set itself. What's allowing you to take each trade and win. That's it. Remember, you started with $100. One contract, $100. And all you're doing is one trade at a time, consistently over time. That's it. You're literally 30 trades away. Powerful stuff. Another great behavior that we develop is logging out. Can't reiterate that enough. Logging out. Yep. Yes, we do. We get paid by position. Yep. Yep. Logging out. This is something that I do too when I'm looking at the market in observation, with the exception of two candles. The majority of all of this movement has been within the box. And now you see it moving outside the box again. So when I see like this type of stuff going on, what will typically be happening is the market is deciding whether or not it wants to continue to remain inside the box or if it's going to do something else. So if it stays in the box, you'll start to see some type of transition take place. Because if it's in the box, it means that the market is staying within barriers. Because that's all the box is representative of. The box represents the barriers top to bottom, right? As soon as the market begins to violate the barriers, it's letting you know that there's just too much movement at the time. Because it's not staying in the box. The longer it stays in the box for, you'll start to see a transition into tighterness. Just made that up. Tighterness. We got a new word. But yeah, that's just one thing visually that I like to do. I like to see how long it's staying in the box for. And then it makes it easy to see when it starts to transition. So as it's transitioning, you start to see all the tools manifest. The range, which we know was the first indication of stability. And the range is just when the candles are beginning to range. You'll start to see that type of stuff. Range, clusters, then the clusters will move into position and create the buffer between the barriers. And that's another thing too that I think I'm going to focus on when I do the next live training. When I say barrier, I'm talking about the point that the market does not move beyond. There are times when that point and where the strike price is, they're in the same vicinity, but there's a buffer in between them, meaning that there's distance between the barrier and the strike. But when you hear me say barrier, I'm using that word synonymously with the entire thing. So not only am I talking about the actual barrier itself, but I'm talking about the vicinity that the barrier is located in as well, meaning where the actual position of the bottom or the top of those candles are and the strike. Because when it's close enough and there's a barrier in between, the barrier is there. Not a barrier. There's a buffer in between, rather. The buffer is there, but the barrier is what the market is actually respecting. And that's why the buffer will just be another visual confirmation that you see. It's kind of like seeing that the candles are not touching the line, not touching the strike. They're physically above or below the strike. There's an invisible buffer in between. So the terminology is just becoming more clear, because I know that when I say things, sometimes it'll kind of sound confusion. It's like, well, what you mean the buffer? What's the difference between the buffer and the barrier? They're the same. It's part of it. Well, why, when you draw the box, the top is the box, the top of the box is the barrier, the bottom of the box is the barrier. It's like they're representative of where the position of the strikes are, and that's where ultimately you want the barrier to be. And it can only be that if the actual market moves into that position in the vicinity of where the strikes are. And that's why I'm describing these things, where I'm talking about the physical location of the candles and how they are not touching the strike. But this is stuff that we'll get into more detail as it just becomes more clearer to me. I'll, give more clarity on it also. But these are just things visually that you see. I'm not even talking about nothing like that I made up. This is what the market does. What I am doing is I'm just interpreting what it is that I'm seeing clearly. So as it becomes more and more clear to me, then I can actually communicate it a lot more effectively. And then it just becomes more and more clear, period. On the market that causes those barriers, what's the psychology? On the market that causes those barriers. Well, the barrier is just simply caused or created by the market. The market creates the barriers. What the box is doing is it's directing your attention to only focus on when the market creates the barriers in the box. You become even more focused when you see the market create the barriers near the top or bottom of the box. You see how did you catch what I just did? There's barriers all the time. But the box is creating focus on where you want the barrier to end up at. You want the barriers to end up near the top or the bottom of the box. That can only happen if the position of the market is near the top or bottom of the box. That can only happen if the market is ranging, which can only happen if it's clustering. So you see how all of our tools manifest, and visually the box is helping you to create the focus of it. So anything that you see that's not, that's not that, you ignore. Like right now, candles touching the top. We ignoring all of that. You come over here, you move the box over here. You're waiting to see if the market is going to start to do something different now. Or is it going to continue breaking through the top, breaking through the bottom, touching the top, touching the bottom? If it's doing all of that, you know it's doing too much. See? In none of these instances are we considering any type of trading. So if you apply what we're doing with just this one tool, this is 301 manifesting itself. Literally. You know that if the candle touching the top and touching the bottom, you know what phase you in. You know that that's phase one. And you know that it's too fast. You see? If you seeing a bunch of wicks going out the box and coming back in, you know that that's behavior, instability. So even if the market is slow, if the wicks are coming outside of the barriers and coming back into the box, That's bad behavior still. 301, once again, manifesting with the box. It's crazy. Is it like all these computers that institutional traders are using are all in agreement with not moving forward at that moment? What brings about this calm stability on the market? It can be a combination of several things. Sometimes you'll have stability in the market even with a lot of volume. Sometimes you have it with a little bit of volume. I think that when you have less volume, instability becomes more obvious. So if there's a lot of activity that's going on a smaller scale, it becomes more obvious when there is a slower market. It's kind of like how you can see what something is really doing when it slows down. Which is why that's the first phase for us. When something's moving slow, you can see how it's moving. So it's that same concept. If it's moving fast, you can't really catch how it's moving yet because your eye is not trained to see how it's moving in that speed. You see? That's why we wait for it to slow down first. Phase one. But again, I mean, it's the same thing. Just like I said a moment ago, look at what it's doing, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 minutes it stays in the box. On minute 5, it's back outside the box. Move the box. See what it does now. And as you just keep going forward and you just move the box with wherever the market is moving to, the market is going to let you know what it's doing in each instance. So even without you trying to apply 301, you're applying 301 just by using this tool. This is 301 in action. Look at this now. Look at the movement. Movement all the way down to the bottom of the box again. What's that telling you? You already know what that's telling you. There's too much what? Too much speed. Too much movement. See? You already know what not to do. And it just continues to go from there. I like that. Sadiq said recording is the instant replay. Bang. Yep. This just takes a little more memorization, would you say? Oh, well, let me go back. You said it blows my mind how you can see all this by utilizing the quick glance too. Yes. Yes. See, any one of the tools that we use leads us to the same thing. Remember, I trained you guys to be able to see the market without a chart, just by looking at the indicative. We're able to see stability, instability, just by looking at the indicative. Now, using the box as a tool. Mind you, the box is simply the strikes. All the boxes is whatever the top and the bottom strike price is. And then what we're doing is looking at how the market is moving within that area. You'll be able to know if the market is in phase one, phase two. You'll know exactly where you are. The navigation is still there. So it doesn't even matter what tool we decide to use, they all work. Paley, is the market creates a barrier, a psychology creates a strategy. Very good. Very good. That's good. Yep. Good stuff, man. See the wicks? Wicks are just the market's way of saying that the movement is not stable. And if you look at where the movement is starting to take place, that's telling you a lot about the position of the market at the time. And then that rolls over into whether the market is going to stabilize its movement and then start ranging. Or even before that, the clusters creating the barrier. Because the candles are only going to cluster if there's a barrier, which would be the reason that they're clustering together, because there is a barrier. Then you can see if there is a buffer between the barrier and the strike. And that right there is what I'm gonna get into in the next live training that I do. I'm gonna talk more about that specifically. That buffer, because that buffer is huge. That's a big visual representation that definitely gives you a lot of confidence when you see it manifest. Because the duration of time that lasts for is going to give you full confidence if a trade sets up. The buffer also helps to create the 5+1. See, if you got distance between the barrier and the strike, that distance is helping to give you the 5+1 when the trade sets up. Whoa. Whoa. Oh boy. This is TA knowledge. TA knowledge. All right, so we've been on here for 2 hours. That's good. That's an excellent live market observation. A good solid 2 hours of knowledge. So y'all make sure that y'all like the video if you have not already. Like I said yesterday, I'll probably be back on the podcast probably next week. More than likely next week we'll be back at it. And if you didn't see all of this, watch the replay of it. And you'll make sure that you check out the recommended live training for tonight. I think it was 5. Wait, what was it? What was the recommended training for tonight? 641. Otis, it makes sense to be in the market when it's transcending time and distance, especially because we are dealing with 5-minute binaries. Yes. 100%. Jermaine said, I'm convinced certain people in TA don't sleep. Shit, I'm convinced most people in TA don't sleep. That's right. That is right. We rest. That's it. So y'all know what it is, man. 30 trades away from your freedom. Keep that in mind. 30 trades away from your freedom. Record, post in the group, be held accountable for your journey. And that's it. You know what it is. Until the next episode, good night. Dom de Marco, Dom de Marco.